G'day everyone, I'm artist Wayne Dowson and welcome back to the channel, legends. Today was a casual Friday ride with a few of the boys. Nothing too crazy, well, except for the rocks, the mud, and some sneaky single trail that showed up out of nowhere. You know, the usual. Today I was riding with Madmouth the Bin Chicken, Anthony the Dingus, and Shonky Sean. Us four brave riders set off at the crack of dawn. Well, okay, more like the lazy time of 10 AM, you know, peak adventurer's hour. But the way we entered the bush back there wasn't just a turn-off. Oh no, it's what we like to call a wormhole. A secret passage that can catapult you through time and space. Or at least straight to the single trails. Either way, it feels pretty sci-fi when you're on a bike. Now this single trail section, absolutely magic. Nothing like squeezing 200 plus kilos of motorcycle through a path made for push bikes. But hey, we survived. I was told by Anthony the Dingus riding behind me that I was doing a lot of leg paddling. But whatever gets you through the trails, that's what I say. So here we were on this cracker day, where I had returned home and was once again living on the beautiful central coast of New South Wales, Australia, and having access to the amazing Ourimbah State Forest and Watagan State Forest on what could be called a shakedown ride. I was testing out my Insta360 camera after replacing the lenses, and Shonky Sean was testing out some new suspension on his bike. As for Anthony the Dingus, well, he'd be testing out his air compressor, only he didn't know it yet. Of course, no ride is complete without at least one stall and a graceful bike drop. Lucky for me, both cameras were off at the time, so technically it didn't happen. If you don't film it, it's not real. So as us four riders hurtled through the Ourimbah State Forest towards Jerry's Cafe, I couldn't help but think to myself, after being away and travelling for 2.5 years, how much Ourimbah has changed. Riding through here now is like riding on a sealed road, whereas back in the day, it was all sand and rock. Ah yes, rocks, Mother Nature's speed bumps, where some of us picked perfect lines, others, well, let's just say we took the scenic route. Now, after a grueling 5 minutes of riding, we're adventure riders, remember? We rolled into Jerry's Cafe for a much needed coffee stop. And here's the thing. When we arrived, there were bikes everywhere. Seriously, does anyone in this country actually work on a Friday? Or is coffee at Jerry's the new office? So we squeezed our bikes in. Of course, that's when we noticed my front tyre looking a little sad. So naturally, I went looking for an air hose. And because Jerry's Cafe is a service station as well, easy fix, right? Wrong, no hose. Fine, I'll ride a few k's down the road to the next servo. And guess what? No hose there either. At this point I was beginning to think Australia was having an air shortage. But that's when Anthony the Dingus casually piped up and said he had a pump. Really, mate? You could have mentioned that before my scenic servo tour. But hey, that's adventure riding. Always an adventure, even when you're not moving. And it sure beats the hell out of having to change a flat tyre. So we left Jerry's Cafe, caffeinated, tyres pumped, and spirits high. And we headed north into the mighty Watagan State Forest. Now if you haven't been, this place is a dirt biker's paradise. And by paradise I mean wet, muddy, and guaranteed to make you question your life choices at least once every hour. But between what little challenges there were on today's ride, it was just one of those rides where you cover a heap of ground, laugh the whole way, and wonder how the day disappears so fast. Good bikes, good mates, good vibes. Of course, before you even hit the Watagans, you get to cruise through some absolutely spectacular farmland. Rolling hills, big skies. Honestly, what a beautiful place this would be to live. Although knowing us, we'd probably still find a way to get bogged in the driveway. Now we were climbing. And the further we climbed, the muddier it got. Front wheels were pointing one way and back wheels were doing the tango. Honestly, for me, it's less riding a motorcycle and more holding on for dear life while gravity tries to throw me off. After all the rain, it's rocky and it's rutted. The kind of terrain that separates the brave from the, let's just call them future YouTube stars. Every rock was a test, every rut a potential home for your bike. Style points, 0. Survival, hopefully. Today wasn't an extreme ride, and it definitely wasn't a hardcore mission, just a cracking Friday out on 2 wheels. If every weekend started like this, life would be perfect. Now here's where the real fun begins. The downhill rock and rutted track. For most people it's tricky. For me and my bike, it's basically 8 seconds at the rodeo. Hold on tight, point it vaguely downhill, and pray I don't get bucked off before the buzzer. Every rut is a trap, every rock is plotting against me. And somehow my bike handles it all with the grace of an angry kangaroo on roller skates. Stylish? Absolutely not. Entertaining? Definitely for those behind me. And just when we thought we were in the clear, the swamp appeared. No map, no plan, just 4 riders staring at a stretch of water and each other, wondering who was going first. Now I don't care what anyone says, the best part of riding through mud is watching your mate go first, so you can learn from their mistakes or just laugh at them. Both ways work. Now being the fearless leader or just the most gullible, I went first. Splash, mud, water everywhere, proper adventure riding. And not to be outdone, Anthony the Dingus followed in close pursuit. Both of us making it through the swamp. And then there's Mad Mal the bin chicken. He takes off on what looks like the same line and then poof, he's gone. Completely disappears from view. I'm thinking that's it. The swamp's claimed him. Rest in peace, Mal. But no, a few seconds later he pops out bone dry, riding like he's on a Sunday cruise. Turns out they'd cut a dry track in a couple of weeks earlier. Did Mal tell me about it? Of course not. That's mateship for you. Let your buddy drown in the swamp while you ride the easy road. Anyway, through pure skill, sheer determination, maybe a touch of dumb luck, we all made it through. Obviously we prevailed because we're great riders, or at least we like to think we are. Now you'd think after conquering the swamp we'd be done, right? Nope. The bush had one last surprise in store, a greasy hill climb, because why end the day with dignity when you can end it in chaos? And it was a greasy hill climb that almost brought me unstuck. Maybe that's why I hit it first, because like my mate Mad Mal the bin chicken always says, if you're leading the ride and you fuck up, it's not your fault. Halfway up this big greasy hill, my wheels crossed up in the biggest of ruts. For a second there, it looked like it was going to be my grand exit, a slow motion binning at the finish line. But somehow, through pure skill, ninja lightning reflexes, and maybe because my eyes were closed and my sphincter shut tight, I clawed my way out and kept the bike upright. Dignity intact, pride mostly intact, and what a way to finish the day. So that's the Friday ride. You see, not every ride needs to be epic. Sometimes you just need good mates, good trails, and questionable decision making. Wormholes, coffee, rocks, swamps, and one final greasy climb to send us home smiling. Days like this remind you why we ride. It's not about going far, it's about the fun, the laughs, and making it through with stories to tell. Until next time, I'm artist Wayne Dowson. Ride safe, ride hard, and always pack a mate like Mad Mal. Just don't follow his line.